Hey guys, it's Emma, and thank you for tuning in to my live stream today. So, yesterday I finally hit 100 subscribers. Super cool, super glad that we all enjoy books and everything. And I also just bought a bunch of books recently, so thought I might as well just sit here, read a little bit, do whatever. And if you have any questions, here's my big bookshelf. But if you have any questions, you can leave them in the chat or anything, and we can just talk, have a good time. This is my current read, For the Wolf by Hannah Whitten. It actually just came out yesterday, so I grabbed it the first day it was on Barnes & Noble shelves. The worker actually told me that 3 other Barnes & Noble workers bought this book that day, so it seemed pretty good to me. I thought maybe it would be a good choice. I'm only on the 5th page so far, so I haven't gotten too far within there, but I might want to move this camera. All right. This book is a definitely dark fantasy retelling of Red Robin Hood, For the Wolf. So far, it looks like it's in third person, which isn't my favorite point of view, but I still like it. Got some bezeled edges. And it was 50% off, but I believe $18. So it's an all right price for 480 pages. I'll start from the beginning, give you a little taste of the book. Okay, Chapter 1. 2 nights before she was sent to the wolf, Red wore a dress the color of blood. It cast Neve's face in crimson behind her as she straightened her twin's train. The smile her sister summoned was tentative and thin. "You look lovely, Red." Red's lips were raw from biting, and when she tried to return the smile, her skin pulled, copper tasting sharp on her tongue. Neve didn't notice her bleeding. She wore white like everyone else would tonight, the band of silver marking her as the first daughter holding back her black hair. Emotions flickered across her pale features as she fussed with the folds of Red's gown. Apprehension, anger, bone-deep sadness. Red could read each one. Always could. Ever since she'd been easily able to cipher since the womb they shared. Finally, Neve settled on a blankly pleasant expression designed to reveal nothing at all. She picked up the half-full wine bottle on the floor, tilted it toward Red. Might as well finish it off. Red drank directly from the neck. Crimson lip paint smeared the back of her hand when she wiped her mouth. Good? Neve took back the bottle, voice bright even as she rolled it nervously in her palms. It's Medusian, a gift from the temple from Rafe's father. A little extra on top of the prayer tax for good sailing weather. Rafe filched it, and he thought the regular tax was more than enough for pleasant seats. A half-hearted laugh, brittle and dry. He said if anything would get you through tonight, this will. Red's skirt crinkled as she sank to one of the chairs in the window, propping her on her fist. There's not enough wine in the world for this. Neve's false masks of brightness splintered, fell. They sat in silence. You could still run, Neve whispered, lips barely moving, eyes on the empty bottle. We'll cover for you, Rafe and I, tonight. While everyone... I can't, Red said it quick, and she said it sharp, hands falling to slap against the armrest. Endless repetition had worn all of the polish off her voice. Of course you can, Neve's fingers tightened on the bottle. You don't even have the mark yet, and your birthday is the day after tomorrow. Red's hand strayed to her scarlet sleeve, hiding white, unblemished skin, every day since she turned 19. She checked her arms for the mark. Kalendor's had come immediately after her birthday. Seitha's halfway through her 19th year. Mara's merely days before she turned 20. Red's had yet to appear, but she was a second daughter, bound to the Wilderwood, bound to the wolf, bound to an ancient bargain. Mark or no mark. In 2 days, she was gone. Is it the monster stories, really, Red? Those are all fairy tales to frighten children, no matter what the order says. Neve's voice was on its edges now, going from cajoling to something sharper. They're nonsense. No one has seen them in nearly 200 years. They were nothing before Sarethia, none before Mara. But there were before Kalendor. There was no heat in Red's voice, no ice either. Neutral and expressionless, she was tired of the fight. Yes, 2 damn centuries ago, a storm of monsters left the Wilderwood and terrorized the northern territories for 10 years until Kalendor entered and they disappeared. Monsters we have no real historical record of, monsters that seem to take whatever shape they please, the person telling the tale. If Red's voice had been placid autumn, Neve's was wrecking winter, all cold and jagged. But even if they were real, there's been nothing since Red, no hint of anything coming from the forest, not for any of the second daughters, and not for you. A pause. Words gathered from a deep place neither of them touched. If there were monsters in the woods, we would have seen them when we... Neve. Red sat still, eyes on the swipe of wound lurid paint across her knuckles, but her voice knifed through the room. The plea for silence when ignored. Once you go to him, it's over. He won't let you back out. You can never leave the forest again, not like last time. I don't want to talk about that. Neutrality lost its footing, slipping into something hoarse and desperate. Please, Neve. For a moment, she thought Neve might ignore her again, might keep pushing this conversation past the careful parameters. Red allowed for it. Instead, she sighed, eyes shining bright as the silver in her hair. You could at least pretend, she murmured. You could at least pretend to care. I care, Red tensed knuckles on her knees. It just doesn't make a difference. She'd done her screaming, her railing, her rebellion. She'd done all of it. Everything Neve wanted from her now, back before she turned 16. 4 years ago when everything changed. When she realized the Wilderwood was the only place for her. The feeling was mounting in her middle again, something blooming, climbing up through her bones, something growing. A fern sat on the windowsill, incredulously verdant against the backdrop of the frost. The leaves shuddered, tendrils stretching gently toward Red's shoulder, movement too deft and too deliberate to be caused by a passing breeze. Beneath her sleeve, green brushed the network of veins in her wrist, made them stand out against the pale skin like branches. Her mouth tasted of earth. No. Red clenched her fists and her knuckles blanched. Gradually, the growing feeling faded. A vine cut loose and coiling back into its hiding place. The dirt taste left her tongue, but she still grabbed the wine bottle again, tipping it to the last of the dregs. It's not just the monsters, she said when the wine was gone. There's the matter of me being enough to convince the wolf to release the kings. So there's a little taste of this. Again, you guys should probably check it out. It's pretty good. I know I just started it, but it's really descriptive, so I think it's going to be a good read. And it's pretty. I just like pretty books. I love pretty books. So, also, I wanted to talk about, I finished The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue and bawled my eyes out. So that book was amazing. V.E. Schwab, her writing style was just so beautiful. And I really enjoyed being able to be part of that world where it was so realistic, but also so fictitious. And the collision between the arts and the past, history, all that was super, super interesting. So I would highly recommend reading that book. I would highly recommend reading everything that's on my shelves, but I haven't even got to them all, so there's that. If there's nothing else, I think I will I know it's short, but I have to go to work. So this is the live stream. I hope if you guys like it, please comment and everything. Just tell me, hey, let's do more of these. I can do it with all the books that I have started. This is my shelf right here of books that I haven't read yet. So if you want to join in and tell me, hey, let's go over this one, or let's do that, I can do a tour of my bookshelf. I can do all that stuff. So if you have any questions, leave them in the chat, in the comments. I will get back to you whenever I can. I know it's been a while. Life's been crazy. So, all right. Thank you for tuning in. See ya.